I am going to show you how I made 6 bill farming nightmare creatures. Stick around. Oh hey, if the last 0.6% of you guys could please sub, that'd be great. In this video, I'm going to talk about what nightmare creatures are, how to kill them, where to find them, requirements, how much money you're going to make, gear, literally everything. So check the timeline on the video for the different segments. So if you want to skip around, you can. Okay, so how much money are you actually going to make? Well, it's a little different for everyone because it's based off your kills per hour. So I'm going to set this to 580 for this example. Again, we're using this RuneScape wiki link down in the description. It's very useful. So now after you enter your kills per hour, slide down to the results section. Here we have profit, inputs, and outputs. Now you can stare at this for a while. I reference it a lot, but the one thing that's important to know is that the value for Nightmare Gauntlets is actually taking the on task value, not the off task. And we use off task, at least I do almost all the time, because it would take too long to get a task every single time. So in order to get a more accurate value, you have to swap the 8.4 mil here, 8.5 mil, scroll down, and this line of text at the bottom tells you the off task value. Okay, so the difference between on task at the moment and off task is about 7 mil. Again, 7 mil less. So I'm just going to go to my profit here and subtract 7 mil. That's how much you're actually making. So right now it looks like it's going to end up right around 4.5. So your actual profit is 4.5 mil per hour. Now again, I run 2 accounts, so that's about 30 mil per hour, and it's semi AFK. If you don't have rune metrics and don't know how to track your kills per hour, just find your ribbon and click on the Adventures tab here. Go up to the top and click on the Beasts tab. And then on the left there's a drop down arrow. Click on that and click Slayer Creature Kills. This will give you a list of all your Slayer Creature kills. Just scroll down until you find Nightmare Creatures. Right here you'll see how many Nightmare Creatures you have. Then write down this number, just wait an hour, and then write it down again, and then just take the difference. If this is at 60,000, you can click Prestige, and then click Yes, and it'll reset it back to 0 and add a little number here. So this 3 here means I've killed 3 times 60,000. So that's 180,000 plus 14. So almost 200,000 nightmares on this account. Here are the requirements. The 2 biggest requirements in my opinion would be the quest, Children of Ma and City of Sen. They both have very long chains, so if you're starting a new alt and you want to unlock nightmare creatures and do this method, it's going to be a lot of questing, probably 50 or 60 quests altogether. Children of Ma unlocks the nightmare creatures. City of Sen unlocks Animate Dead, which is absolutely necessary. You also need 84 magic for Animate Dead, so that would be the bare minimum magic level. The restocking cannon perk isn't necessary, but it does make this whole process a lot better. Again, the point of this method is that it's AFK, and if you don't have this, it's going to make it a lot more click intensive. For overloads, you want to just use the best overloads you can make. My main uses Elder overloads, but in the budget setup, I was able to just use basic. However, keep in mind that was with the Vampirism aura active. The Bone Crusher paired with one of these 2 Daemonheim necklaces are very important because when you kill a nightmare, it'll automatically bury the bones, keeping your prayer topped up. The Spring Cleaner is important because the nightmare creatures drop a lot of alks, so you want those to be immediately alked and put into your money pouch, rather than worrying about trying to pick them up or even alk them on the spot. Torment and Deflect Missile is very important. The Torment will boost your defense and increase your kill times, while Deflect Missiles will keep you from dying instantly. Blood Reavers are really important. They'll help you keep your HP topped while also dealing out damage. For Invention, you want at least 45 so you can augment both your chest and your legs and start getting perks on those right away. Without perks, it's going to be a lot harder to survive. Nightmare creatures are located south of the Eagles Peak Lodestone at the World Gate. If you have the 6th Age Circuit Ring, you can teleport straight to the World Gate. If not, just take the Eagles Peak Lodestone and run south. Once you get here, click on the world gate, and assuming you've done all the quests, you can go straight to the ritual site. Once you enter the ritual site, just run west. Once you get to the nightmares, run up to the markings on the floor, and stand right between these 2 points. This is where you're going to place your cannon. Okay, real quick, I forgot 2 very important things in the setup. So, first things first, before you start combat, I know I'm in combat, but before you start combat, go to settings, just hit escape or hit the cogwheel, go up to settings here, go to gameplay, right, and make sure you're in the combat and action bar section, and at the top it says combat mode, okay? You want to make sure you're in legacy combat mode. This is very important because you're not going to be using any special abilities. You're literally just going to be using this blood burst spell, okay? It uses fire and death runes, okay? If you use blood burst, blood barrage, you're going to be wasting blood runes. So make sure you're just using blood burst. Not the high level spell, the lower level spell right here, okay? This, if you read the description, it literally heals you for the damage dealt. So that's what's helping you stay alive. Okay, so those 2 things, legacy combat mode and blood burst. Once you place your cannon, you're going to activate your 7 buffs. Number 1, Animate Dead. Number 2, Weapon Poison. Number 3 are your overloads. If you have potion reservoirs, Number 4 and 5 are your prayers. You need Deflect from Missiles active, and your best magic stat boosting prayer. I have Affliction. If you don't have Affliction, hopefully you at least have Torment. So let's go ahead and activate Torment and Deflect Missiles. Number 6 is your Scripture of One. Number 7 is your Blood Reaver Familiar. Make sure the timer is not about to run out if you already have one running. Otherwise, you're good to go. Once you've made sure you have those 7 buffs, you can go ahead and activate your cannon. There is one bonus buff, number 8, which would be the aura if you want to activate one of those. Again, if you're using the budget setup, make sure you have Vampirism aura active, otherwise you'll die. While doing this method, there are 2 main spots you can stand. South of this hole, and 1 step to the right, south of this rock. While standing south of this rock, this nightmare up here will actually path around and not get stuck. However, occasionally your character will get moved to the right or to the left, and you'll have to reposition him back to the correct spot. Sometimes if you're not paying attention, this can get you killed. I prefer to stand here, south of the hole, which means I kill 1 less nightmare, but I don't have to worry about clicking back into position. You can see he just got stuck there right now. If I move over on top of the loot pile, he'll loop around and you'll get to kill him every time. But again, it comes at a cost. A little bit more active, making sure you click back to your spot every time a nightmare moves you. So now I'm set up to be here for about 3 hours. So I'm just going to keep spamming this loot all button. Anytime I get low health, I'm going to drop, pick up some sharks, eat it. I can pick up another shark if I'm staying low, eat it. If there's no battle axes, I usually put a shark in that placeholder slot just in case I need it for emergencies. And then every 90 seconds or so, I'm going to just click this loot all button and everything should be filled in here. The only thing that won't automatically get filled into my inventory obviously are these battle axes, which I'm going to use the magic notepaper on. You can see one just showed up, so I'm either going to drop the shark or eat the shark. In this case, I'm dropping it. I hit loot, it comes into my inventory, and I note it. You could do that for the super strength and the summoning potions as well. I don't really bother because it's not a whole lot of money. Over time, it can get you a few mil, but I prefer just only getting the big hitters. So if you crashed and forgot what world you were AFKing on and your cannon disappeared over time, just teleport to Falador and run northeast towards these dwarves. So once you get up here, you're going to play a little game of Where's Waldo, and you're going to search through these dwarves until you find the one with the correct name. It's not Rolad, it's another guy, starts with an N. Here we go, he's right here in this corner. So you're going to right click him and you're going to click replace cannon. Obviously I have mine, so he's not going to give me mine. So if you lost your cannon, he'll give it back to you. Just make sure you have an open slot and you'll be all set. Okay, so when I'm setting everything up, I have two presets I use. First one, I call it role playing. This is to set everything up This is old. I don't use Ganodermic anymore. That's in the budget setup. But you can see I have everything here that I need. I have the thread, the needle in my tool belt, so I can use this to repair my Cinder Bloom. You can see this is how it works. Actually, you can't see the message, but you basically just use these flakes to repair this. Right here is another potion reservoir slot, but I don't have one, so I click on this to get a new one, use the overload on that, load that up. If I don't have a pet, I don't, so I can click on that. That opens up that. These are teleports to the house to repair the gloves and the boots. You can see they're about half, but I'm not going to do that now. I don't use Silverhawk boots. You could probably get away with doing it if you really wanted, but I have 2 slots to load this up, so I'm going to go ahead and load that up. This just shows my max amount of notepaper if I'm running low. Same for cannonballs. These two, the maple logs and the earth orbs, they're actually to load into my invention machines to disassemble them. So essentially, rather than doing this, it'll do it automatically for you. So yeah, this is the max amount of charge. I right click this, add all. This shows me how many potions I have left. Essentially, like, everything you need is in here. I can hover over the book, see, okay, I have 19 hours. I'm gonna load a few more pages into there real quick. Same for this. Check, okay, 18,000 springs. I don't need to add any right now, but I could if I want to. And then this is really nice, the way I have this set up. You have your pouch in the middle, and then you can click on all these runes real quick and just load them right into the pouch. And now you can see you have max 16k. So yeah, this is the first preset. Now, after I do all that stuff, because if you die, you're going to have to do this. You're going to have to set everything back up. Feel free to copy this if you'd like. Now I go back in, and I click my second preset, and this is what I use to go and fight. So real quick, I'll go over the gear. We have Cinder Bloom, head, chest, legs. I have the Reaver's Ring because I have the relic power that gives me fortune. If you don't, just use a fortune ring. You could use Cinder Bloom boots as well, by the way, but I don't need the defense, so I'm just using Blast Diffusion for more dam. Cinderbane gloves, Inquisitor staff, your best cape, of course the rune pouch I just showed you, Demon Horn necklace, and Scripture of One. Okay, so now that we have all that, I can go over my inventory setup real quick. These are, you're just going to pick these up, the dart tips, bolt tips, dart tips, arrowheads, energy you're going to be picking up, Elder Charms. If you don't destroy them, you can pick them up and you can use them later. You could also, like, potentially, there is a method where you use, what is it called, the Grace of the Elves, to port those bones that the guys drop back to your bank, but it's really obnoxious because I don't like keeping up my prayer, so I never really do it, but every now and then I'll collect the charms. So runes, of course, you're going to be getting both of these. These soul runes, by the way, I bring 50 of each simply because you need enough runes to cast Animate Dead at least once in the beginning. And if I can find it here, I could tell you. Oh, I'm on the wrong spellbook. I think it's like 12 soul runes, right? But you're going to be picking up soul runes as you're fighting. But if for some reason you only brought 1 soul rune, you'd die because you wouldn't have enough to cast Animate Dead in the first place. So I bring 50 of both. I just bring all my cannonballs with me just to see how I'm doing, and 3 Blood Reaver pouches. Again, I have 1 already active, so this is 3 additional. So it sets me up for about 6-ish hours. There's a overload in here, plus 6 more over here. Of course, my flasks. You can adjust this how you want. This ring is the 6th-age circuit ring. I couldn't tell you how I got it. It was really obnoxious. I thought I completed all the quests, but I think I had to do, like, I did have them all completed, but I just couldn't figure out how to get it. So good luck with that one. But this will let you teleport straight to the world gate, which is pretty nice. Of course, your cannon, your notepaper. You don't need that much. You could probably bring like 100 or 200. If you're using more than 200 in a trip, you're doing something right. So anyways, yeah, that's the setup. Again, the budget setup will be later in the video, so check that out. The gear will be downgraded, the weapon will be downgraded, everything will be a lot cheaper. So this is just the, like, max level setup. This is the budget setup. You won't be making as much money with this setup because your kills per hour will be a little bit lower, but I put this in the video just in case some of you guys out there still want to try this out with a lower upfront cost. First off, you need the Vamp Aura. After you make a few upgrades, you should be able to survive without it. Next, we have the 5 pieces of armor. We have the Gamma Dark Visor, chest, you can see the perks, legs, boots, and gloves. Split Dragon Tooth Necklace for the neck. You get this with Dungeoneering tokens from the Dungeoneering reward shop guy. Grasping Rune Pouch. I definitely recommend the pouch because it saves you runes, which will save you money. But I guess if you don't have the pouch, you could probably just bring the runes. But you're going to be using this for a long time for many other things. So if you don't have a pouch already, I definitely recommend getting one. For pocket slot item, I have Scripture of When. I do realize this is about 70 mil in a budget setup, but I don't know enough to recommend anything else. I definitely should recommend this item. I don't know if you can get away without it. So if anyone in watching this video has any other ideas, go ahead and put it in the comments and I can pin it. But if I don't have this equipped, even with, you know, a few pieces of Crit Bloom, I still tend to start dying. And I'm usually looking around like, oh, what buff did I forget? Oh, I forgot to turn my Scripture on. So if you can pick this up, you're going to need it. It's useful for a lot of things. In this example, I'm using a 99 Death Cape and Ring of Fortune. Honestly, just pick your best ring and best cape and you should be fine. Last but not least, we have the Augmented Staff of Light. It's about 9 mil, so not too much. Equilibrium and Precise 6 are definitely important. I also have Genocidal on here. Doesn't help too much. If you can, Aftershock 4 and Ruthless 1 would be good. But it really depends on your invention level, how much money you have. Again, this is the budget setup, so we're sticking with these two Equilibrium 4 and Precise 6 perks. So with the budget setup, I went ahead and used normal overloads just in case your Herbler level isn't very high. I strongly recommend getting up to Supremes, but with normal overloads, we were able to survive with the Vamp Aura. The Vamp Aura did just fall, so you can see I'm going to slowly die off here. I already ate up all the sharks that were on the ground, so we'll see what happens. But again, budget setup means less kills per hour. Less kills per hour means less gold per hour. With perfect gear, you're getting around 600, and with the budget setup, you're probably going to get around 400. So it's going to chop off about a third, which lands you somewhere in the 9 to 10 mil per hour range. So still decent, but you definitely have to pay more attention, and as far as I can tell, you're relying on the Vampirism Aura. As you can see, I've just about gone from 100 to 50% HP without the Aura, so does it work? Yes. Do you need the Aura? Sadly, I think you do. Again, with some upgrades, you should be able to get past that point where you need the Aura, and you can keep going with eating the sharks on the ground. Alright, so that's the video. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comments and I'll try to answer anything I can. If you need help setting this up, it's not working for you, we can try and figure it out in the comments. It really is pretty simple if you run the budget setup and have that Vamp Aura on. But yeah, I talk about it all the time. Just go back through the video, watch it again if you need help, but feel free to drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll try and get back to you if I can. Thanks!